On November 21st, 1990, in Lebanon, Oregon, Edie Carrico was helping her sister Linda Eli prepare for their big family Thanksgiving dinner the next day.
Cookies are done. All right.
I hadn't really talked to Edie in a week, so we were kind of catching up on, what had been going on in our lives, and just being sisters.
You know what? You kids can really do me a favor and go outside and play so I can get the house cleaned up for tomorrow. Okay.
We were talking about the kids and how big Jessica and Sierra were getting. They're about 11 months old and 3 weeks apart. And we were talking about how we were going to get together and have just one birthday party for both of them.
Edie, I'm going to go ahead and make my mouth water. You want to put that batch in?
And I knew I had to scrub my kitchen floor, so I went to get a bucket of mop water. I walked out and closed the doors thinking that the babies might accidentally go in there and get into it or spill it. We were going to lay the girls down for a nap. That way I could mop my floor and it'd be dry before they got back up.
Well, I need to make her a bottle.
Okay.
Sierra is an absolute monkey. She's independent. She's just stubborn. She prefers to do things on her own, by herself, for herself.
Everything's just falling behind you. Yes, house is so small, there's just not room for everybody. So.
Oh, yeah. Until you do a big family dinner, then you don't realize how much work it is. There's no way just one person can handle all of it unless you start about a month before. I made up the bottle, grabbed a diaper, and I made a circle through the living room and back down the hallway to Linda's bedroom.
Sierra!
Sierra wasn't there. Jessica was. So I walked down the hall and figured that she had just crawled down to the kids' bedrooms at the end of the hallway.
Sierra?
I was getting the cookies on a plate, and the next thing I heard was Edie screaming. She was just screaming a mother's scream when your child is hurt or they're gone.
Oh, my God! Oh, my God!
She was extremely cold. Her lips were blue, and her face was ashen. I turned her over the sink, and goo came out of her mouth.
Oh, Sierra! Oh, my God, Linda! What happened?
I was screaming. I'm going, oh, my God, Linda, she's dead. She's gone.
She fell in that bucket.
The instant I looked at her, I knew something terrible had happened. I checked to see if there was a pulse. I felt it very faintly, but I could tell her chest was not rising and falling. I knew if I didn't do anything immediately, she would die. After each breath, I would look at her, and it wasn't doing any good.
She's not breathing yet. We're going to have to do it again.
I started to feel very helpless, and then I remembered, this is why I learned it.
Come on, baby, breathe.
After the sixth one, she opened her eyes, and I could hear her pulling air on her own.
She's breathing.
I could tell she was still in danger, but praise God, she was breathing.
At 3:16 p.m., rescue units with the Lebanon Fire Department were dispatched to the scene.
Working on a 3 attempt to do 5. She's going to be okay. We're going to take her to the hospital, and she's going to be okay. She's breathing now. She's going to be okay.
I kept smelling something really funny. It's like I smell something, but I can't put my finger on it. And I turned and asked Linda, is there bleach in your bucket? Then Linda lost it.
The bleach is a toxic chemical. It isn't going to hurt her. I always looked at bleach as a cleaning supply. I never, in my wildest imagination, thought of someone drinking it or getting it into their system.
Within 6 minutes of the call, paramedic Tim Frost and his partner arrived at the house.
The minute I went through the door, there was a strong smell of chlorine in the air. How long has she been in there?
5 minutes.
Okay. The smell was strong enough to burn my own eyes. We didn't want to waste any time. She was in very serious condition. Because of the added problem we had with the chemical in the water, we gave her not much of a chance to survive.
10-month-old Sierra was taken to Lebanon Community Hospital, where she was examined by emergency physician Les Pliskin.
When the child arrived in the emergency room, she responded to what we call noxious stimuli. From that point on, she became less responsive. She never did open her eyes to voice at all.
Sierra was flown to Dorenbecker Children's Hospital and put under the care of Dr. Alan Pascal.
We knew that she was likely to have a severe lung injury, and she also had an inadequate function of her heart. Her blood pressure was very low, very difficult to measure. However, she did show some neurologic function, which as early on in her course is a very good sign.
She looked so helpless and so tiny. She had every machine in that place on her. I couldn't even hold her. I think that was torture.
It seems like an accident that wouldn't happen. It seems like something that a child couldn't do. But in my 5 or so years of pediatric critical care, I've seen 4 or 5 bucket drownings. Many of the cases I've seen have been fatal.
After 2 weeks in the hospital, Sierra was released. In a checkup 6 months later, she was given a clean bill of health.
I am so thankful that we have her today to share and to love, and so it's truly a miracle.
Over the last 10 years, hundreds of children have died by drowning in buckets.
When I heard that most children die from this and don't come back, it really hit me what a special child she is. She's a blessing. She's a miracle.
The best is that I have the joy of her today, and that I can speak out and make more parents aware of their surroundings. Children move fast. Don't underestimate them.
If you think a child can go out and fall in a swimming pool and drown, so you put a fence around your swimming pool. But the thought of 6 inches of water taking a baby's life, you just don't think about it.
Children have larger head sizes in proportion to the rest of their body. So one could picture the 1-year-old simply looking into the bucket, and they end up head down in the bucket and unable to get themselves out.
I feel any parent, mother, father, grandmother, grandfather, aunt, uncle, should get CPR. I never thought it would happen to me. But at that time, I had the knowledge and I used it, and she's alive today because of it.